Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Cameron here. Wanted to just reach out real quick and touch base and talk about some of the things that are happening in professional soccer because, as you may or may not know, especially in Europe, but professional soccer is one of the first professional sports to come back and participate in a full and meaningful way. This is going to be a two-part, maybe three-part video series where I want you to be watching those professional games, and I really want you to be noticing some things while you watch, particularly the Premier League. If you get NBCSN, the Italian League, which is actually on right now on ESPN, Spanish La Liga is on, and so some of the tournaments are coming up, especially most notably the Champions League that first week in August, and it's going to be a lot of games back to back to back to back to back. But today we're particularly talking about offense, and I want you to notice offensively when you watch a game. Number one, it's our natural, I think, draw to watch the player who has the ball, because that's where the quote unquote action is, and that's where the things will be happening, right? We're going to want to see what's going to be happening with that individual. So while you're watching that player who has the ball, here's what I want you to think about. If they lose possession of the ball, why do they lose possession of the ball? And even how do they lose possession of the ball? Okay, is it their own decision making? Do they think that maybe I can play a long ball to somebody and then it just goes out of bounds? Was it poor execution? Did they think, oh, I can find a pass here, try and get it in between a couple defenders, and the defenders anticipate well and then take the ball away? How and why do they lose that ball? So think about their decision making and then think about their execution. As exciting as it is to watch the players who have the ball, the next thing I want you to think about is the players who don't have the ball. Specifically their movement. What are they doing off the ball? When especially when there's a transition, when they dispossess their team, I want you to notice how the midfielders stretch wide, how they become available, how the defense maybe stretches wide. I want you to think about how they check to the ball. And even if they check to the ball and don't get it, they don't just stand there acting upset. They peel out of the way, let somebody else come and then make their move, checking to, and then check their runs on the outside, or if they're making a diagonal run looking for a through ball. Just to see if you can pay attention to that. A lot of whether you have cable or satellite or whatever your provider is, a lot of the providers have the ability that you can pause or rewind. So even if you see something like, oh, a great goal scoring opportunity, pause it and then go back a little bit. See how it's created. See how it gets built up the field, and then think to yourself, well, what were the good decisions that were made there? How's the timing of that run? How did that player check to and then make himself available to then play like a give and go to another player? Last thing I want you to think about when it comes to offense is just general play, specifically the cohesiveness, okay? Almost every team you see attacks as a team. If they're bringing the ball up the field, the defense is coming right with them. They're not standing back and waiting. If they're in their attacking third, the defense, the back line, the defensive line is right there on that same half, providing support. And hopefully, if the other team is trying to counterattack, they can put the kibosh on that counterattack before they get the chance to come. But similarly, they're also defending as a team. Very seldom do you see just a forward or an attacking midfielder just standing at midfield waiting for the ball. He's back and he's helping and he's getting involved. They're all communicating with each other. They're moving up together. They're moving back together. And all that starts with communication. Some things to think about, some things to notice while you're watching these games. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to talk to you. See you guys.